If you're looking for work, you can try here. Might be a visitor needs a job done.
Hello there. On a darkling wind she rose, gripped within impassioned throes, and I, her chosen witness proud, did fall beneath her endless shroud. Something about you reminded me of the verse. Of course, the poet was discussing death. I'm Patrick Morcan. How may I be of assistance? Between the Tuatha invading in the east and the bandits marauding in the west, it seems that death is making a home of Candrian. 211 years I've called this place my home. It was once a peaceful town, but lately peace seems to be in short supply. You wish to know of me? I once owned a shop where I sold trinkets to passers-by. Then my wife was taken. Now I spend my days in the Raven, watching people, waiting to die. That is why you are here, no? Death has come to Melaglir, and you are but a step behind her. Pardon me. Grief tends to push me toward theatrics. You see, my wife was among the first of our villagers to disappear. But we are a private people, and we prefer to keep our dead exactly where they lie, good and buried. I will speak no more of it. Ah, her. A particularly belligerent woman, if I recall. I believe she left our village recently for parts unknown. Master Dace made quite the fuss. Apparently, she left her possessions in a footlocker in her room. I suppose she left in a hurry. Me? How would I possibly know? So good of you to stop by.
Greetings, stranger. Join me for a drink, won't you? I have not seen much of it, as I have only recently arrived in the region. I spent my childhood in the north with my father's people, the Loselfar. Growing up, my mother did not speak of her family here in Candrian. The few times she mentioned them, I got the feeling that she did not care for them. I am beginning to understand why. I tried to talk to my uncle about the Tuatha menace, but he immediately cut me off and banished me from the keep. I do not think a ruler should be so obstinate. My new home, as it were, my uncle banished me from the keep, so here I am. In truth, I do not mind. The villagers are far kinder and more pleasant to be around. They are a curse upon this world. All they bring is destruction and death. I cannot understand how my uncle can allow them to ravage this land unopposed. I grew up in the far north, son of a Loselfar trader. I couldn't have been happier. My mother spoiled me rotten. My parents were very loving and wonderful people. It is hard for me to understand why fate would take them from me so suddenly.
Welcome to Melaglir, the worst place you'd ever want to be stuck. Trust me. What do I know of war? I've got my own struggles to overcome. I wish the Alfar victory, but it's not as if I will see any gain from their triumphs. Ha! Melaglir. There are Tuatha about. The local lord cowers in his keep and seeds of unrest everywhere. Take me with you when you leave, will you? I'm a healer. Been stuck here for what seems like an eternity. I've been mending bones and curing sicknesses in exchange for farmers' foodstuffs.
You're not from around here, are you? I am Eli Thames, and I could use your help with a delicate task. Candrian was once the safest region in all of Erethel. No one dared to challenge the Candrian Guard. Now, with the Tuatha raiding up and down the coast, the Guard do nothing but protect Lord Candrian as he cowers in his keep. Indre Candrian became Lord just before the Crystal War began. When the Tuatha invaded, he retreated to his keep and refused to come out. Left all Candrian to die just to save himself and his precious family name. I'd heard it was a quiet town, but now I hear whispers of people mysteriously disappearing during the night. I haven't left the inn since I arrived. Rathir is the great city of the Dokalfar, up the coast a ways. It's old and beautiful, but don't hold a candle to Odessa if you ask me. Why, I am but a humble agent of change, endeavoring to be in the right place at the right time. He is Lord Indre Candrian's nephew, the son of Indre's sister, and a Losalfar trader. Thankfully, he spent his childhood in the north with his father's people. It was only recently that his parents passed away, and he was sent here to come age under the influence of Lord Candrian. Lord Candrian wears a large ceremonial signet ring. He removes it only to sleep. I need you to go to Candrian Keep and steal it. Ever since Indre Candrian became Lord, the Candrian Guard have not left the area around his keep. The Tuatha are raiding the Candrian coast entirely unchecked, and this gravely worries the citizens of Rathir. We wish to inspire Lord Candrian to leave his keep and drive the Tuatha back into the sea, and the ring is the first step. Excellent. I'm told that Lord Candrian keeps it in his bedroom in Candrian Keep. Obtain the ring and return to me for another task. The keep is in the southeast corner of Candrian. Supposed to be impenetrable when it's sealed, but I've heard rumors that one could sneak inside through a cavern below it. Lord Candrian keeps the ring in his bedroom in Candrian Keep. Farewell.
What'll it be? I remember Mistress Fell stayed with us not too long ago, asking questions about the disappearances. Departed in a hurry, paid up, but left her possessions behind in a chest upstairs. Let me know if you discover what happened to her. I hope she's all right. Melaglir would be nothing but a cinder too, if we weren't a quick march from Lord Candrian's keep. I suppose his lordship could live with letting his people die. but not if he could hear them screaming while it happened. Been running the inn here in Melaglir all my life. My father was proprietor before me, and his father before him. Used to be we could count on travelers passing through here every week, but now we're lucky to have any visitors at all. Is that so? Let's take a look. That bastard! He murders my dear sister Jera in cold blood, then waits 30 years and thinks a note will make everything right. You tell Durfel that if I ever see him again, I'm going to gut him.
Good evening. Hello. What may Durant Alagus do for you? Trading goods in Melaglir is just a necessity for me. I've always wanted to travel and study the esoteric elements of alchemy. But alas, where can one find time for such pursuits? This land is old, my friend. Old indeed. Used to be that the lords of the Alfar ruled over much of the Erythel from the keep to the east of here. But time brings change, I suppose. Now it's just the keep and this village. Melaglir was never a particularly bustling town, but with the recent disappearances and the Tuatha Raiders nearby, few visitors come here anymore. It makes me sad.
I don't like the look of you.
Go no further. Citizens are not permitted in the jail. It's where we keep the lawbreakers and undesirables. We're always on the lookout for promising new additions, if you know what I mean. Not much left of it, is there? The Tuatha burned most of it, and bandits ravaged what was left. Only Melaglir and the keep remain untouched. That town up the road, only one left in Candrian. The Tuatha have burned the rest. An agreeable lot. I like to visit the inn when I'm not on duty. I am in charge of guarding Candrian jail. I make sure that no one goes in without permission. Or comes out without permission, I suppose, but that hasn't happened in a while.
The Lion of Winter, the Magus King, Indarian of Candrian, captured fire in his fist and with it took command. With wisdom and tenacity, the Lord of Aod captained peace. May it never cease. You're not here about the blasted Tuatha, are you? After the Tuatha invasion, overnight it seemed, most of Kandrian lay in ruins. Rather than lose all, we fortified Kandrian Keep. Melaglir survives too in our shade, because it is close enough to defend without sacrificing our security. In every incursion upon Erethel by foolish upstart tyrants, Kandrian Keep has never fallen. Even if all of Kandrian and Melaglir succumb, my family's keep will stand fast. It is not for nothing this land and this keep bear my family's name. We've protected this region for generations, a fact those peasants in Melaglir occasionally take for granted. I forgive them this. It was not an easy choice to make, and it is a heavy one to bear. It is close enough to our keep that my guard can defend both without too much risk. That is why I can safely leave a garrison there. Without our protection, they would have been razed years ago, and this keep would be all that's left of old Kandrian. What's the point in fighting them? You kill one and it gets right back up. No, it is better if we stay here and keep them from getting what we have. My sister's dim-wit son. She betrayed the family and married one of those contemptible Loselfar traders. She went north, and we heard nothing of her for years until a messenger turned up on my doorstep with that son of hers. Apparently, they both died of the plague and left this burden of theirs on me. Forgive me if I don't show you out.
Stand fast. Welcome to Candrian Keep. Please behave yourself. Greetings.
Ah, good, you got the ring. With this, we're one step closer to forcing Lord Candrian out of his keep and unshackling the Candrian Guard to challenge the Tuatha. Durant runs the general store here in Melaglir. He's a bit off, but he's said to have a singular knowledge of the arcane. We need to modify the ring before we return it to Lord Candrian. There is an altar in Western Candrian that is perfect for our needs. Take the ring there and place it on the altar. There may be some resistance to your efforts. Just ensure nothing disturbs the ring until it's finished. Return to me when you're done. We must modify Lord Candrian's signet ring with a bit of magic. Take the ring to Western Candrian and place it on the altar. You may have to defend the ring until it's finished. There could be some resistance. Another time, then.
Greetings.
Isa met Ohm. They embraced each other, and in stillness enveloped the darkened land. Where one sang, the other danced, and they sang thus. We are Isa, and Ohm danced. We are Ohm, and Isa danced. I am the summer's dawn, and Ohm bowed. I am the morning winter, and Isa bowed. This thing is something, and Ohm wept. Naught of naught, and Isa wept.
I will now tell you of those times as it was written of our forebearers. They lived off the bounty of the sea and the grasses and fields, the newly met peoples, beasts and flowers. If I am a liar, there is no truth under Lyria. The temper of our tired family calmed before waves, and hidden among the rocks, the shadowed nooks of beach and shore, a secret to all but our ancestors, the arcane wielded by Lyria's chosen, a sanctified buttress, the grounds on which they practiced her magic arts.
Die, Tuatha! You fight well enough. I appreciate the help, but my work here isn't done. Unless you're going deeper into Verki, I'll take my leave. This isn't about me. I've let good people down. I need to make that right. We were out looking for supplies. Came home to find Tuatha attacking the village. All those people dead at the hands of those monsters. We drove off the first group, but they just kept coming. The survivors scattered. I left to find where the Tuatha had come from. Most of this place fell in the war, but it appears the lower levels were mostly unharmed, lucky for us. After 10 years, we thought we could rebuild. I led them here, and here they died. The idea was mine, as is the blame. Those of us who could defend ourselves went out to find supplies. The rest stayed and helped in ruins. Tuatha picked us off, one by one. I should have sent word, but I wanted to give him good news from Colm. Tell him things had gotten better. But they never did. And it's my fault that the refugees were lost. Are we going? Just a moment. I'm not going back until the work is done. You'll just have to help. They're coming in through the water gates in the depths of this place. They must have found them. That's their way in. We see Tuatha crawling out of here every time we pass. As for the gates, I remember them from when I was a child, before the Tuatha came. Unexpected, but thank you. With you here, we just might make it. Let's go. What did my father say of me? I can look after myself, though I'm grateful for your help all the same. At the bottom, of course. They were used to let boats in. You can be sure we'll find more Tuatha along the way. Are we going? There's the lever to the gate. Throw it! There's the lever to the gate. Throw it! The gate lever! There! They can't get in this way anymore. Let's go. It's finished. Return with me. If I know my father, he'll want to thank you in person. Are we going?
Good day. Hello. What may Durant Alagus do for...
For you.
Engar doing sending a neophyte to rescue me? Doesn't he understand what's going on here? There is a necromancer in Mel Aglia. I'll tell you my whole life story just as soon as you deal with the Morkans and save this village. Let this be a lesson to you, neophyte. It's always the quiet towns on the fringe of society with the real freaks, hiding out in plain sight. Not an unusual thing in these times, especially with the Tuatha raiding the coastline. But Kandrian's always been secure. When the Order heard of what was happening, we had to investigate. Something unnatural was at play. I'll tell you everything you want to know about it, just as soon as you stop the Morkans. Ethan Engar is one of the most knowledgeable and respected spellcasters in the Order. He may seem distracted or absent-minded at times, but trust me, we're lucky to have him on our side. Look around you. Patrick Morkan's wife may have died from natural causes, but nothing natural brought her back. I know because I've been watching her walking corpse feast on prisoners for over a week. She and her husband are nearby. If you strike quickly, you can catch them by surprise and end this horror. Yes, I'm not certain which is more torturous, having to watch Patrick Morkan feed villagers to his dead wife, or the way he caresses her cheek as he wipes the blood from her chin. Oof. As threatening as his dead wife may seem, kill the sorcerer first. Once the master is destroyed, the magic that animates her corpse will dissipate. She's just an automaton, after all. We both know there isn't a magic that can bring the dead back to life. I'll see to getting out of this cell. With you distracting them, I should be able to escape. I'll see you at the Raven when this is done. Now, by all means, take your time killing the psychotic necromancer who almost fed me to his dead wife. I'll just wait here. Good luck.
This isn't what it looks like. Oh, fine. I'll admit it. I tried to bring her back from the grave. Is it really so hard to understand? Have you never been in love? I'll say one thing. Your timing is impeccable. I think she's hungry, and you'll make quite the feast. So good of you to stop. No! I'll make you pay for that, you monster!
After all this, I'm grateful to be alive. And uneaten. It was lucky that you showed up when you did. I must say, I'm impressed, neophyte. Few of your rank would be able to handle a necromancer of Morkan's power. I will remain behind to tend to the village. You should report to Savant Engar as quickly as you can. We explore the magic of this world, for it is a powerful force that can be abused, as we've seen. It's the main base of the Scholia Arcana in the Feylands. Sometimes I miss city life, but I feel like I have a duty to this town. I've got my work cut out for me repairing the damage that Patrick Morkan did to this village, but I'm glad to be here at least. Farewell.
Hello. What made Durant Alec... do for you?
Forget what you have done for me, and Anella. No thanks could ever be enough, but please, accept this humble reward. Not a bird to be caged, I'm afraid. Still, I hope her time on the Tawili coast has opened her eyes to the realities of the world. I too dream of seeing Culn rebuilt, but I fear it will be years past this war's end before such a thing could be. Just an old merchant with his share of grief, but his share of fortune, too. I have a home here in Tirin's Rest, and my daughter by my side.
Good evening.
Impressive. The altar put quite a nasty curse on that ring. Restore it to its proper place. Be sure you're not seen. The keep guards have been on high alert since the ring went missing. With Indre Kandrian dead, Arian Raidan is sure to become the new lord. He will drive the Tuatha off our shores once and for all. Don't worry, it will be painless. Once he's worn the ring and retires for the night, he'll sleep and simply never wake again. What did you think we were doing? Honestly, have you ever heard tell of a curse that could forge a brave man from a coward? This is the only way. But we're so close. We need a lord who will lead the Kandrian Guard into battle, not hide in his keep. Think about it. I'll still be here with the ring if you change your mind. Are you ready to finish this? Good. You'll need to find a different way in this time. Since your last visit, they've sealed the front door and barred all visitors. Remember, place the ring back where you found it without anyone noticing. Hopefully, Kandrian will just think he overlooked it. Farewell.
Yes? Forgive me if I don't show you out.
Greetings.
Ah, there you are. Have you heard the news? Poor old Lord Candrian passed away in his sleep. Very sad. Yes. You'll be happy to hear that Arian Raidan is the new Lord Candrian. Incidentally, I believe this belongs to you. Careless of you to have left it behind, but I hope we can work together again sometime. Indre Candrian was a poor lord. It is better that he is gone. Now, perhaps, the guard can drive the Tuatha back across the sea and make this land safe again. The Losulfar are an honorable people, and you can easily see that they raised Arian to be a just and virtuous leader. With Arian in charge of the Candrian Guard, they will take the fight to the Tuatha and drive them back across the sea.
Good day.
Hello. I trust everything went well delivering the letter to Matix Dace? I'm not sure he took kindly to it. Regardless, you have completed the second labor. For your next labor, I need you to retrieve a sword, Hellbane, off the body of a great Varani blademaster known as Three Swords. Travel to the Tuwili coast, search near the shore, and follow the Tuatha bodies. Three Swords will not have fallen easily. He was called Three Swords for the three weapons he favored. He was one of the only mortals I've ever known to master the challenging art of wielding the twin Fey blades. I'm sure the Tuatha paid a mighty butcher's bill for it. News has recently come to me of the fall of a great Varani blademaster known as Three Swords. He bested me, and instead of taking my life, he took my sword, Hellbane. I want you to find where Three Swords died and retrieve the weapon. Until later, then. You have acquired Hellbane. Excellent. Now, for your next labors, I need you to collect some items. The Bloodstone, a circlet, and the Rose of Kandrian. The Bloodstone in particular must be bought. Here is some gold to do so. The circlet is in a chest in the Scholia Arcana Library in Rathir. The Bloodstone is with Kel's Cafety and Tyrion's Rest, and the Rose just south of here in Kandrian. She was the most beautiful creature I have ever known, and she is dead. Let us leave it at that. The Bloodstone is with Kel's Cafety and Tyrion's Rest. I've given you the gold to purchase it from him. The circlet is in a chest in the Scholia Arcana Library in Rathir. You'll have to be sneaky about how you obtain it. You need Hellbane to pluck the rose from the grave of Geradace, my wife. The troubles of the war have tilted its citizenry toward a more religious bent. Tread carefully there. Few creatures are as dangerous as a true believer. The circlet from the Scholia Arcana Library in Rathir, the Bloodstone from Kel's Cafety, and the Rose of Kandrian from the grave of Geradace. He is a lying, whoring, two-faced mongrel, a blight on the plains of Erethel for the better part of 20 years. Long ago he cheated me in a game of cards, winning a gem known as the Bloodstone. I want you to get it back. Use the gold I have given you to get it back. If you can convince Kells to part with the gem for less, good. If you can't, do what you need to do. Well, if you don't have the skills to do so, take this book. Place it in the bookshelf to the left of the chest, and the chest should unlock. Let's just call it a legacy of my misspent youth, and not ask questions as to how it works. Now, go, get me that circlet. The magic of the headstone will allow the bearer of Hellbane to pull the rose from the stone as if it were alive. All right then, you'd best get going. Farewell.
Approach and await the wisdom of the fates. I am the great Kel's Cafferty, sworn and scrupled servant to the Sisters of Destiny. Speak, that I may divine your future, and through my gift, bless your mortal soul. I'm sure Durfel is not very fond of me. I beat him in a game of cards many years ago, fair and square. Well, by my standards, anyway. I don't like strangers who ask a lot of questions. This town is full of old fools. Most of them will believe anything you tell them. Traditionally, this sort of transaction happens under more discreet circumstances, if you understand my meaning. Tell you what, I'll part with it for a hefty price. Surely you jest. That's highway robbery. Pleasure doing business, friend.
Hello.
You're well, I hope?
Oh, I'm sorry. I almost didn't notice you. I'm making remarkable progress in my research. You see, I'm writing the definitive biography on General Oriator. Without his courage and tactical brilliance, we'd never have driven the Tuatha from the plains. He and General Varlain are why I've come here, to comb the old battlefields for clues of what happened. You might say she was the moon to Oriator's sun. Oh, I know some would take offense to my saying that. All the same, it's true. You shouldn't think all Loselfar are so devoted to Lyria. Where I come from, in the north, we take a much more balanced view. The first was the Battle of Gallifore Plain, then... Oh, don't get me started. Well, the Battle of Gallifore Plain was the first triumph pinned to Oriator's name. Then into Willy, the Dawn March, the War of Parries, Varlane's Gambit, and finally, Oriator's Stand. He died driving the Tuatha from Erethel. I come from the far north. Although we are farther from the action, a war against the Alfar is a war against us all.
Here's a valiant adventurer come to sleepy Tyrion's Rest. The war cheer you up and spit you out too? If not, it will. And you'll find yourself in some damn tavern, rotting behind a mug of ale. That's not the talk of them in this village. Lyria doesn't love them, or so I've heard, and she's not the only one. The war? Ha! The war's a grislier beast than these poor fools have dreamt of. The old dog died face down in Tawili mud. Whatever he was in life, I say that earned his right to be remembered a hero. It's a fine hill, if you like to sit and rot in your old age. That or praise Lyria's toes morn, noon and night. Irene's her name. Came here going on about old Oriator. Heard I'd fought and seemed set to talk my ears off. So I asked her for a kiss. Turned red as a setting sun and went right back to her books. Just a sorry old remnant of the war. Not sorrier than those damn refugees, the poor sots. All right.
Of Lyria be blessed.
Welcome to the Reedsong Inn. Come in, and Lyria light your way. If you can spare a coin for our troops in the war, well then, all the better. I hear the conditions in Cluricon are just wretched. My own son was there, gave his life for the cause. That's why I've taken up collection. Every coin goes to those poor soldiers across the water. A room in the inn? Why, you're in luck. I have one to spare. Well, if you ever do, you need but ask. Our goddess and protector, the Alfar's guiding light, it was her will we were spared the face sword 10 years back. High Priestess Tyrion made camp right here on her sojourn to settle Rathir. It is said she was given a vision by Lyria on this very ground. As long as you're not a sodding fae, you're most welcome here. Horella sermons grace and patience, but I lost a son. I'd go over there and wring every one of their evil necks. I'd come back and wring the ones on this side afterwards, for good measure. That I do. We all must do our part. Have you got a few coin to spare, then? And what about them? I don't see what they're doing to fight the Fae. There's a good soul. Say, would you do one more favor for an olden keep? This purse is full of collections. Would you be so good as to bring it to the box in our sanctuary? I can't go myself, and there's someone I can't trust. If you want to know the truth of it, someone's been swiping from the collections. We don't know who, but I'm sure you weren't the one. Lyria, bless your fate. Sanctuary's just across the bridge at the end of the walk. The box is inside. And if you happen upon the thief, and in my opinion it must take place in the darkest night, tell the priestess to white nil at once. Goodbye, then.
Keep the peace in Tyrion's Rest.
Well, a new face. Lyria bless you. What'll it be? There's a dear. If you happen to be around there at any odd times, do keep an eye for that thief. Lyria only knows when they're doing it. I'm sure the priestess or White Nil would want to hear of it if you did find the scoundrel. A room in the inn? Why, I think you'll find it lovely. A nicer spot to rest your weary bones, I can't imagine. Right enough.